I recently purchased the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Moonlight palette, starting out by priming my eyes with the Urban Decay Anti-Aging Eyeshadow Primer, and then starting out with this EM3 shade with a Sigma E38 brush into the outer corner and crease, blending out the edges. This palette is on the expensive side. I paid $68 for the palette, which breaks down to about $5.67 per shade. Of course, you can find other cool tone smoky eyeshadows like this in other palettes, but I do think these eyeshadows perform it beautifully. They're very pigmented and they blend out easily. Next, I'm using the shade EM8 with a Sigma E45 brush and then blending that out further with an E38 brush again, just to diffuse the two together. On the colors, it worked really well together and a little bit goes a long way. I didn't really dip too much into the eyeshadows to get the pigment I'm using. Obviously, I'm using a little bit more of a lighter hand. I didn't want this to be too intense. But if you're a fan of cool tone shades, I think this is pretty versatile. You can get some everyday looks as well as glam looks. Next, I'm dipping into the EM7 on the center of the lid with a Sigma E54 brush. I'm just sweeping this onto the lid and then using what's left on the brush afterwards to feather out the edges. I really love the dimension on this shimmer. Kind of bringing it up above the crease a little bit. Using shade EM1 in the inner corner with the same brush and EM2 on the front portion of the lid with the same brush as well. I'm just adding a little bit of lightness to the inner corner of the eye. And then I'm blending this shimmery color into that one we applied on the center of the lid. Next, with the shade EM3, I'm dusting that on the lower lash line with a flat shader brush. I got this one at Hobby Lobby. And then I'm lining my waterline with the Huda Beauty pencil liner, doing the same thing on the upper waterline. Next, I'm lining the upper lash line with the Rare Beauty liquid liner, starting in the inner corner and then working my way towards the outer corner, making it a little bit thicker towards the outer corner. Just kind of perfecting the line as best I can. I am going to smoke out the outer corner a little bit, but here I'm just kind of lining tight to my lash line so there's no gap. Adding an inner corner wing. With the shade EM12 and a Sigma E06 brush, I'm kind of smoking out the lower lash line very, very tight to the lash line, almost kind of like stamping it. And then I'm smoking out the outer portion of the upper lash line liner that we did using little side to side motions. With the shader brush again, I'm smoking that out with the shade EM4. Just smoking out the top of the line that we just applied, just diffusing it, like so. Next, curling my lashes and going in with the Too Faced Foreplay Primer and Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara, applying a light coat of each to the upper and lower lashes. I'm next applying the Only All False Lashes in the style D2. I trimmed them down a little bit in the outer corner, but that completes the look. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of the palette down below. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Let me know if you want to see any more looks using this palette.